የተከበራችሁ እንግዶቻችን በድጋሚ እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ። እዚህ በቨርጂኒያ የሁለተኛ የዓመታዊ ኢትዮጵያ ፌስቲቫል በመገኘታችሁ ደስታዬን ለመግለጽ ፈልጋለሁ። ስሜ ቶማስ አሰፋ ይባላል። ይህ ፌስቲቫል በኢትዮጵያን ኮሚዩኒቲ ሰፖርት ኤንድ አድቮኬሲ ሴንተር እና በቅርብ ባልደረቦቻችን የተዘጋጀ ፌስቲቫል ነው። የፌስቲቫሉ ዓላማ ማህበረሰባችን አንድ ላይ በማምጣት የሀገራችንን መልካም ገጽታ ለማሳወቅ በአሜሪካ የወረዳ፣ የከተማ፣ የስቴት እንዲሁም የፌደራል የህዝብ ተወካዮች ከእኛና ከሀገራችን ጎን እንዲቆሙ ለማነሳሳት እኛም የኢትዮጵያን ህልውና ለማስጠበቅ ድምጻችንን ማሰማት የምንችልበት አንዱ መንገድ በሚመጣው የአሜሪካ ኮንግረስ ምርጫ እንድንሳተፍ ለማበረታታት የተዘጋጀ ፌስቲቫል ነው። በተጨማሪም ዛሬ እዚህ የሚገኙ የስሞል ቢዝነስ ቬንደርስ የኢትዮጵያን ወክለው ባህላችንን ወክለው ይገኛሉ። ስለዚህ እነሱን እየጎበኛችሁ እንድታበረታቱ እንጠይቃለን። በነገራችን ላይ የሎካል፣ ስቴት፣ ፌደራል የምክር ቤት ተወካዮች አባላት የተጋበዙት ከሁለቱም ፖለቲካ ፓርቲ ነው፣ ዴሞክራትም ሪፐብሊካንም። እሱንም ለማሳሰብ ፈልጌ ነው። So with that, I would first like to introduce and ask to come up to the stage Ato Mesfin Taganu, who is the executive chairman of the American Ethiopian Public Affairs Committee. Let's give it up for Ato Mesfin Taganu from APAC.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for this gracious introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I make my remarks, I would like to congratulate all of you who were here last year. In the first annual meeting, Ethiopian convention, we requested that Virginia to come together to show our power in a protest vote, and you guys came. You came together and you made it happen. And thank you very much for coming together to show that we matter, our voice matter, and we need to be listened. And this year, as we get ready to launch, get ready to campaign for the midterm elections, we have a similar request again. We have candidates that are endorsed by American Ethiopians Public Affairs Committee. We are coming here again to ask all of you to go into the American Ethiopian Political Action Committee website, apac.org, and look at the candidates that are endorsed. And please support those candidates who are pro-Ethiopia candidates who believe will make a difference in promoting an Ethiopian agenda in the United States Congress. Here with us, one of our endorsed candidates, the Honorable Congressman Bayers is here. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your support, your love for Ethiopia. He is one of our original supporters. The American Ethiopians Public Affairs Committee also recognized Senator Warner as one of Ethiopian friends, although he's not running today. We recognize him and we appreciate his support. As we get ready just to give you a 1-minute activity report on APAC, we have a detailed work report on our website. For those of you interested, please go check it out. As we get ready for 2022 midterm election, we have structured about 22 campaigns, 22 committees across the United States, and each committee has a responsibility to recruit, campaign, and fundraise for candidates that are endorsed by the American Ethiopians Public Affairs Committee. And so we have 12 candidates on our website. We are endorsing 21 candidates for this midterm, with the goal of forming a strong Ethiopian caucus by 2024. So we would like to get a 10% of the elected officials, both in the House and Congress, to be pro-Ethiopia candidates. So we are working very hard to get to that goal. We believe the 21 candidates we have endorsed, most of them, we have confidence that they will be elected, and most of them have agreed to join the Ethiopian caucus. So this is a major milestone, ladies and gentlemen, from not who are there Ethiopians in Virginia to, all right, let's listen to these guys and pay attention to their interests. So thank you for everyone for making this happen. We are going to push, we are going to work hard, and we are going to make sure that our voices are heard and our interests are protected. In the process, not only the local interest, but the international interest, the Ethiopian American interest, as well as the agenda that the Ethiopians would like to advocate as a pro-Ethiopia to advance the interests of Ethiopia while advancing the interests of the United States. We believe those two things go hand in hand. Thank you again, and thank you for the opportunity. I would like, before I leave, I would like to acknowledge the committee that has put together this event. I mean, it's a very hard work to pull all these people together. A lot of work has gone through it. And thank you, Gannat, and the organizing committee. You guys, again, have done a fantastic job. Thank you, everyone.
One. እንዴት ናቸው? የነጻነት መኩራት የታሪክ መስፈሪያ የእግዚአብሔር ብሩክ ቅድስት ኢትዮጵያ የጥቁር ሕዝብ ክብር የመዓዘን ድንጋይ የመዓዘን ድንጋይ የተጋድሏት የደም ፍሳሽ በቃይ የምድር ፍቅር ምስራቅ የመስዋዕት ሜዳይ የባህል ቅርስ ቋንቋ ሰገነት ኢትዮጵያ ሀገረ ገነት የባህል ቅርስ ቋንቋ ሰገነት ኢትዮጵያ ሀገረ ገነት Thank you.
We are also privileged to have in our midst Ambassador Yenalem Birhanu, and I would like to invite him to come up to the stage. Ethiopian Ambassador Yenalem Birhanu is the Deputy Chief of Mission of Ethiopia in the United States. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
እንደምን አላችሁ? በመጀመሪያ እንኳን ለዚህ ለሁለተኛው የኢትዮጵያ ፌስቲቫል በሰላም አደረሳችሁ ለማለት እወዳለሁ። ዛሬ ኢትዮጵያውያን እንደዚህ አሸብርቃችሁ በአንድነት ይህን በዓል ለማክበር በተሰባሰባችሁበት መድረክ ላይ በመካከላችሁ በመገኘቴ እጅግ በጣም ደስ ይለኛል። ለአዘጋጆቹም ለኢትዮጵያ ኮሚኒቲ ድጋፍ አድቮኬሲ ማዕከል ከልብ የመነጨ ምስጋናን ማቅረብ እወዳለሁ። የኢትዮጵያ ዲያስፖራ አባላት በዚህ መልኩ በመገናኘት አዲሱ ትውልድ ባህሉና ትውፊቱን እየተረዳ እንዲያድግ በህብረት በመደራጀትም በሚኖርበት አገር ትርጉም ያለው ተጽዕኖ መፍጠር እንዲችል ማድረጉ ይበል የሚያሰኝ ነው። ኢትዮጵያውያንና ትውልድ ኢትዮጵያውያን ከሀገራቸው ቢወጡም አገራቸውን በልባቸው ይዘው እንደሚኖሩና ከሀገራቸው ጋር ያላቸው ቁርኝነት እጅግ የጠበቀ መሆኑ ሁላችንም የምናውቀው ነው። በሰሜን አሜሪካ የምትገኙ ኢትዮጵያውያንና ትውልድ ኢትዮጵያውያን አባላትም ከሀገራችሁ ጋር ያላችሁን ትስስር በማጠናከር የትውልድ ሀገራችሁ በሰው ሰራሽም ይሁን በተፈጥሮ ችግር ምክንያት ፈተና ባጋጠማት ጊዜ ቀድሞ በመድረስ ላሳያችሁትና እያሳያችሁት ላላችሁት ድጋፍ እጅግ በጣም ላመሰግን እወዳለሁ። ያሳለፍነውን ጊዜ ሁላችንም እናውቃለን። ኢትዮጵያ በጣም ፈታኝ በሆነ ጊዜ የሆነ ጊዜ አሳልፋለች። የኮቪድ በሽታ፣ ድርቅ፣ አሁንም እንደዚሁ በትህነግ በተከፈተባት ጦርነት ምክንያት በርካታ ዜጎቻችን እየተሰቃዩ እንደሆነ እናውቃለን። አገራችን ኢትዮጵያና አሜሪካ ከ120 ዓመታት በላይ የሚሆን ኦፊሻላዊ ዲፕሎማቲክ ግንኙነት አላቸው። በዓለም ሰላም ማስከበር፣ ሽብርተኝነትን በመዋጋትና በሌሎችም ሶሾ ኢኮኖሚክ ጉዳዮች ዙሪያ በጋራ ሲሰሩ የቆዩ አገራት ናቸው። ይሁንና በአሁኑ ወቅት የህወሓት ቡድን በመከላከያ ኃይላችን የሰሜን ዕዝ ላይ በፈጸመው ዘግናኝ ጭፍጨፋ ሳቢያ በተከሰተው ጦርነት ምክንያት የሁለቱ ሀገራት ግንኙነት መቀዝቀዙና ታሪካዊ ግንኙነቱን የማያንጸባርቅ መሆኑ ግልጽ ነው። ከቅርብ ጊዜ ወዲህ ይህንን ግንኙነት ወደ ተሻለ ደረጃ ለማድረግ እንቅስቃሴ እየተደረገ መሆኑና የተሻለ ተስፋ የሚታይ ቢሆንም አሁንም የአሜሪካ መንግስት በአገራችን ላይ የተጣለውን ማዕቀብ አላነሳም። በአገዋ የቀረጥ ነፃ መብት የመጠቀም መብታችንንም ለሀገራችን አልመለሰም። የልማት ፋይናንስ ድጋፍም እንደታገደ ነው። በመሆኑም ከአሜሪካ መንግስት አካላት ጋር የጀመረውን ኢንጌጅመንት ለማጠናከር እነዚህን ነገሮች እንዲስተካከሉና የሁለቱ ሀገራት ግንኙነት ተሻሽሎ ወደ ስትራቴጂካዊ ግንኙነት እንዲያድግ የተቀናጀ ስራን ይፈልጋል። ከዚህ አንጻር የኢትዮጵያ ዲያስፖራ አባላት በሁለቱ ሀገራት መካከል እንደ ድልድይ በመሆን አዎንታዊ አስተዋጽኦ እያበረከታችሁ በመሆኑ ላበረከታችሁት አስተዋጽኦ ምስጋናን እያቀረብኩ አሁንም ይህ ግንኙነት እንዲጠናከር በተደራጀና በተቀናጀ መልኩ ድጋፋችሁን አጠናክራችሁ እንድትቀጥሉ ጥሬን አስተላልፋለሁ። ከዚህ ባሻገር የአንዳንድ አገራት የዲያስፖራ አባላት የተጓዙበትን መንገድ በመከተል ከትውልድ ሀገራችሁ ጋር ያለውን ትስስር ይበልጥ በማጠናከር እውቀትና ክህሎታችሁን በመጠቀም በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የተለያዩ መስኮች ማለትም እንደ ትምህርት፣ ጤና፣ ሌሎች የኢንቨስትመንት ዘርፎች በመሳተፍ ራሳችሁንና የትውልድ ሀገራችሁን እንድትጠቅሙ በእውቀትና የቴክኖሎጂ ሽግግር እንድትሳተፉ በጦርነትና ድርቅ ምክንያት ከፍተኛ ችግር ውስጥ የሚገኙ ወገኖቻችን በመደገፍ እንድትሳተፉ እየጠየቁ ኤምባሲያችን በማንኛውም ጉዳይ ላይ አስፈላጊውን ድጋፍ ለማድረግና በትብብር ለመስራት ዝግጁ መሆኑን ለመግለጽ እወዳለሁ። አመሰግናለሁ። Just if you give me 1 minute for the Ethiopian friends who don't really understand what I said. What I was saying that Ethiopia and the United States have more than 120 years of formal diplomatic relations. Of course, peoples to peoples relations span much longer. However, currently, because of the conflict that has been waged by Tplf on the Ethiopian Defense Forces, the two countries' diplomatic relations is not really going well, and it doesn't deserve the long-standing diplomatic relations that we have in the past. The Ethiopian diaspora here act as a bridge in the relationship between the two countries as a bridge. Therefore, they have been supporting Ethiopian cause during the difficult times that we passed, and we are urging as well to continue their strengthened efforts. And also we'd like to appreciate our friends, Ethiopian friends here, congressmen and the senators and their staffers of other elected officials. We would like to appreciate, we would like to thank you for the support that you have provided to Ethiopia. Thank you so much.
Sisay
ጸዳለ ሰማይ ተስፋ ወአይጣባ እዛደገ ወይ በአዘራ እዛደገ ወይ በአዘራ Azur, uçama kodelle, uçup akut tütübe. Uzunca çabale, akasam, kosasız usa Türkan. Kosasız basen kasıcım var. Çazını güva, çazını güva, çazını güva. شأنه على السجادة سناي تربس نبيل صدى السماء تجسماني كنتاري بعين أباي تزالك واي بعد سرا تزالك واي بعد سرا
Next, I'd like to introduce one of our fearless leaders, Gennet Nuguse. Gennet Nuguse is the Executive Director of the Ethiopian Community Support and Advocacy Center, ISAC, which is the main organization that's hosting today's Ethiopian festival. Gennet serves as a medical director for one of the largest nonprofit healthcare organizations that provides healthcare to underserved communities in Washington, D.C. And Gannet is also very involved in advocacy work through Advocacy for Ethiopia to promote democracy and human rights in Ethiopia. She is one of the founders of civic organizations such as Abran and Global Ethiopian Advocacy Nexus Glean. She also leads the election committee of Northern Virginia for the Ethiopian American Public Affairs Committee, APAC. Let's give a warm round of applause for Gannet Nuguse.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. My name is Gannet Nuguse, and it's with great pleasure and honor that I stand before you to speak on behalf of the organizing committee of the second Ethiopian Fall Festival to celebrate our rich heritage and the beautiful culture we have brought here with us from Ethiopia. The Ethiopian Fall Festival aims to bring communities together and promote cultural exchange and diversity. We are so happy to see so many of you today at our second annual Ethiopian Fall Festival. Last year we said it was our hope that the festival was only the beginning of a legacy that will become part of Virginians' traditions for generations to come. And we are so pleased to be part of the legacy. The goal of the festival is to help our community members network with each other, share information, and also organize so more members of the community become more civically active and engage our lawmakers to attend to our concerns important to us here locally and on national issues. DMB, as all of you know, is the second home for most of us Ethiopians, Ethiopian Americans. Virginia has been a great place for our community. Ethiopian Americans make up one of the largest immigrant populations in the state. Most Ethiopians are running businesses and making positive contributions to the economy and culture in the DMV area. They have also successfully integrated into the civic and economic and cultural life of the state. Some in our community are also facing challenges that most immigrants in this country face, such as language barriers, lack of employment, and other challenges. To tackle this, as Thomas mentioned, EXAC is trying to help, and it's a non-profit organization, and one of the sponsors of this festival is working in our community, helping to help our community members assimilate. And our members reach their ultimate potential by connecting families with the necessary resources to overcome the socioeconomic obstacles many of them face. Many of us also maintain connections with families in Ethiopia and have concerns about US policy towards Ethiopia. And the majority of Ethiopians have now become single-issue voters when it comes to the US politics. Given the recent conflict in Ethiopia, most Ethiopian American voters have become more disillusioned with the perceived policy of the Biden administration towards Ethiopia to be putting its thumb on the scale in favor of an entity that is trying to overthrow the democratically elected government of Ethiopia. A majority in our community here and in Ethiopia believe the government of Ethiopia had an obligation to defend the country against such attacks like any sovereign nation would. However, policymakers and some elected in the US, instead of calling out the perpetrators to account for the crimes they committed, chose to advance the policy of both sidism. We hope that the US government and our elected officials work with our community and the people of Ethiopia to support the fledgling democratically government that is taking hold in Ethiopia. Finally, on behalf of our community, we want to express our gratitude to the elected officials who represent us throughout the state of Virginia. Some among them are here in person. Those who are unable to come have sent another person on their behalf. You have shown us that you care about our community. You have chosen to take the time to recognize our community, engage with our community leaders, stand by us, be here with us to celebrate our culture and heritage at the Fall Festival. For that, we say thank you. We also want to thank our Eritrean brothers and sisters and Somalian Americans and our other African friends and co-workers from all kinds of different backgrounds for being here with us. Thank you again. We look forward to continuing our engagement with you and sharing our thoughts and ideas. To members of my community, I also want to emphasize the importance of voting and getting our voices out. If you have to take anything out of today's conversation, election is coming in November, please go out and vote. So with this, I conclude my message, and thank you everyone for coming.
You're
Thank you so much, Garnett. It is a real opportunity and honor for me as a former governor and now the senior senator of Virginia, to be here and to help celebrate the enormous contributions that the Ethiopian community has made to Virginia and to America. I know I'm going to be followed by my good friend, the Congressman from Northern Virginia, Don Beyer, who also stands in solidarity with the Ethiopian community. Let me tell you, this is, it is wonderful to see everyone. I also want to thank the fact that this second festival is happening here in Virginia and in Alexandria is particularly important. We like our friends in the district in Maryland, but we're Virginia guys. So thank you. I also, I want to be very brief. One, I am very appreciative of the contributions of the Ethiopian community and the African diaspora on a larger basis to Virginia. And I'm not just saying this. I mean, when I was elected governor, I was the first governor to bring members of the Ethiopian community into my administration in Richmond. Matter of fact, the Deputy Secretary of Agriculture was Ethiopian. But I also have to say, I mean, because Gannett and others will tell you this, that over the years I lost some of those connections. And I want to acknowledge a young man who, Boma Chayo, who did a wonderful, wonderful job for me for many years as my Northern Virginia outreach, until he decided to go make 4 times as much money working in the private sector. But he encouraged me that the fastest growing part of Virginia's population is the African diaspora. And I remember a number of times over the last couple years meeting with the community and better educating myself, not just about the past 170 years of diplomatic relations, but what's happening in Ethiopia right now. And let me tell you my conclusions. It is time for the Biden administration to recognize that you can't treat the conflict in Ethiopia as if both sides are equal. It is time to bring Ethiopia back into AGOA. It is time to make sure that we counter the Russian and Chinese investments that are being made in Ethiopia. So that's why I have met with the head of the Development Finance Corporation to make sure that the United States starts reinvesting in a major way in projects in Ethiopia. It's why in the last 2 weeks I met actually with the ambassador's boss, the senior ambassador from Ethiopia, and then met with the new American diplomat who is supposed to be dealing with the whole Horn of Africa, Ambassador Manning, and said it is time for us to make sure that we recognize that the democratically elected government in Ethiopia is the future of Ethiopia, and we need to stand with democracy and use the power that we have to try, yes, to lessen the conflict, but to say that everything is equal and not to respect the challenged history of Ethiopia, particularly until the new regime came into power a few years ago, refuses to acknowledge the potential of bringing all of Ethiopia together. So my hope is that you will continue to count on me as a friend and a supporter. I recently brought the senior most member of the African diaspora, Deputy Secretary Ariamo of the Treasury Department, to meet with not just the Ethiopian diaspora, but all of the African diaspora around Virginia. And I've made a commitment that when President Biden brings all of the heads of Africa to Washington in December, the African diaspora that is so strong in Virginia and America has to be part of that meeting. It is time for us to take advantage of the enormous talents and skills and contributions, not just of the Ethiopian diaspora, but of the African diaspora in our country. It is the fastest growing population in Virginia. It is enormously successful. I'm proud to call you fellow Virginians, and I look forward to us fighting for a stronger ties between Ethiopia and America for many years to come. Thank you and God bless you.
Melcom Ken. Thank you for the opportunity to speak at this second annual. I'm thrilled to be here with my wonderful friend, Senator Warner. You know, many of us think that he should have been president of the United States, and maybe he still will be. Certainly in the meantime, he's one of the most important political leaders in this country. And I was so thrilled to hear the good message that Senator Warner delivered. And I'm always thrilled to be introduced by Gannett Negussi. Gannett was one of the best door knockers I had this year when I was campaigning. She would come out with her family and her friends, and I've won, which is even better. So, thank you, Gannett. And thank you, I'm thrilled to have this opportunity to speak at the second. You know, I represent one of the largest Ethiopian American communities in America. Literally 1 in 8 Ethiopians in America lives right here in Alexandria and Arlington. And in fact, 20% of the immigrants in Alexandria were born in Ethiopia. You probably know that our school students speak 50 different languages, but in the top 3 languages in Alexandria school systems is Amharic. So you are a big, big part of our community. And I don't need to tell you what a huge role you play in our business community, in our social community, in our churches and mosques and synagogues. You're a very important part of our culture, which I really appreciate. And that's why it's so important to attend these events. I'd also like, though, to take a moment to recognize the difficulties. I know your Deputy Chief of Mission and Gannett both talked about, the war in Ethiopia right now. It's incredibly distressing. I've been to the White House twice to meet with Jake Sullivan and those people to elevate what's happening in Ethiopia to the White House. I was very upset to see the outbreak and fighting that happened just in the last couple of days. It's so unnecessary when we're so close to peace. And I'm very pleased that the Ethiopian government with President Abiy has agreed to do the talks in South Africa. I know it's unfortunate they've been postponed indefinitely, but we certainly hope that they happen soon. Ethiopia is the heart of having strong relations with Africa. If we want Africa's economic growth to happen, it's going to have to come from a strong Ethiopia, which means the revolt has to be over as quickly as possible. I also believe, by the way, that our U.S. delisting of Ethiopia's AGOA was a very bad move. We took people that had no role in the fight and took away their jobs. And I've been working with the U.S. Trade Representative to make sure that Ethiopia once again has AGOA benefits at the end of this year. Ethiopia has achieved so much in recent decades, not because you are among the most diverse and federal country in the world, but because of that diversity and the way you can bring all those different threads together. With Senator Warner, I'll do all I can in Congress to support the peace process, advocate on behalf of the Ethiopian community here in Virginia, here in the United States. And I have one request of you, and you're doing it really well already, but continue to make investments in this community. Run for political office, get involved in campaigns, join the library board, show up at city council meetings. Anything you can do, even PTOs or PTAs at your school, to become part of this community, not only gives you a greater sense of feeling at home here, but also enriches all the rest of us. So I just want to thank you so much. I'm so good to go. I'm so good. Nalu. And thank you very much. Have a great festival.
ያውቀው የለም እንዴ ልቤ ወዳጁን ካንተ ወዲያ ላሳቅ ማማር መቆፈሱ ነገር ጨዋታ ለደስደስ ቁም ነገርስ ቢሆን እንዳንተ ማን አለ ስንቱ መስግኖሃል አብሮት እየዋለ እንዲህ የሚሆነው ምንድነው ሚስጥሩ
Next, I'd like to invite Meron Teklu, who serves in the Alexandria community as the new chair for Alexandria's Economic Opportunities Commission and is on the board of directors for Alexandria's West End Business Association. Meron is also an Alexandria representative for the Democratic Party of Virginia's 8th Congressional District Committee and Central Committee, and was recently honored as a 2022 Alexandria Chamber of Commerce 40 Under 40 Award winner. Meron is also a manager at Deloitte. Meron?
Indeminachu, thank you so much for having me. Thank you to the organizers for hosting this festival on this beautiful day. I'm going to keep my remarks short, but I want to share with you that my story is very similar to your story. I am the daughter of Ethiopian immigrants who came to this country almost 50 years ago, leaving a country and a regime that was torn apart by communism and fleeing the country to find better opportunities here in America. I believe that opportunity means that you are in an environment that is supportive and that cares about not only your cultural heritage but your success as an individual, whether through your personal or professional career. Here in Alexandria, we are very fortunate to have a large Ethiopian American community. The immigrant community here in Alexandria is actually the largest, and we have various resources translated in Amharic, as mentioned by the congressman. We also have a lot of different representation here in the city. Just this past summer, the city of Alexandria, in partnership with the arts program, has funded various cultural celebrations. We hosted the first Ethiopian Film and Arts Festival in August. We also celebrated Ethiopian New Year in September here in the city of Alexandria. And that was all made possible through the democratic leadership here in the city. And so I want to acknowledge and thank our Mayor, Justin Wilson, and City Council, who have tirelessly advocated on behalf of the Ethiopian American community and on behalf of all immigrant communities here in Virginia. I also want to acknowledge that we are in such a difficult time, not just here in Virginia, but throughout the world. We are seeing chaos, we are seeing violence, we are seeing our voices being shut off, and we must ensure that we are organized, that we not only celebrate our beautiful heritage and culture, but that we make our voices heard by voting at the ballot box. And I want to share with you this. There have been generations of Black Americans fighting for the right to vote. And so sitting back and staying home and not exercising your right to vote is a disservice not just to you, but to those who fought for that opportunity, so that we could have representatives in Congress, in the Senate, and in the White House that will advance Ethiopian American community interests and will help ensure the success of our large immigrant community here in Virginia. And so I want to share with you that we are 30 days away from Election Day. You are able to vote early. You are able to vote on Election Day, November 8th. But I want to ensure that you go and make your voice heard. And you've heard from our various elected leaders here. Thank you to Senator Mark Warner for coming and showing your support of the Ethiopian American community. Thank you to Congressman Don Beyer for showing your support of our community. And I want to make sure that you realize that these folks here are here because they want to amplify the movement that the grassroots organizers have created in ensuring that we have the same opportunity as those who live here, who are advocating for us, who are making sure that we have affordable healthcare, affordable housing, educational opportunities, and that the American dream is accessible to each and every one of us. So thank you again.
I'm
ባሰልና ቷቲ ወረይኑ ኮምቦልቻ ወይ ኮምቦልቻ አይነ ከብላላ ሰንደል ገላዋ የኔ ዘንካታ ልስልስላዋ ትምጣለኝ እንጂ ታጫውተኝ እንጂ ወሎ ያፈራት የደሴ ልጅ ወሎ ያፈራት የጓት ልጅ ወሎ ያፈራት የቃል ልጅ ወሎ ያፈራት የራያ ልጅ ወሎ ያፈራት የአምባሰ ልጅ ወሎ ያፈራት የናስታ ልጅ ወሎ ያፈራት ሰብ እናመሰግናለን። ቴንክ ዩ አረ እንጫወት እዚህ ጋር እስኪ አንድ ጊዜ እስኪ እዚህ ጋር እየጠራኋቸው ነው። እስኪ አንድ ጊዜ ብድግ በሉና እስኪ እንጫወት። በቆማቸው ከሚቆሙ እንጫወታ እስኪ ያሰላም ሄላሎ ሆይላሎ ያሰላም ሄላሎ ሆይላሎ ያሽሩ ቤቅንጌ ሆይላሎ ትትሽር ወይ ስራ ሆይላሎ እድሻል ቀበጥኩሽ ሆይላሎ ብትፈጅም ከገራ ሆይላሎ አደስ በዘቦ ሆይላሎ ፈይሹሩባደሽ ሆይላሎ ያልመጠጡ ሎሚ ሆይላሎ ይመስሉ ከንፈርደሽ ሆይላሎ የዮ መበሎ የዮ መበሎ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ ሰልምልማ አሽካሩ ያፍራል Ya selam helalo hoynalo ya selam helalo hoynalo ya şurbetenge hoynalo tütüşür oy selam hoynalo ödü şarkı kuş hoynalo bıçacım gagara hoynalo adesi bellamo hoynalo ፈይሹሩባደሽ ሆይላሎ ያልመጠጡሎሚ ሆይላሎ ይመስሉ ከንፈርደሽ ሆይላሎ የዮ በሎ የዮ በሎ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ ሰልማ የዮ Ya selam elalo, oh elalo. Ya selam elalo, oh elalo. Ya şurube enge, oh elalo. Çeşir oysa, oh elalo. Dışarı kapat kuşi, oh elalo. Çocuğum gönlüme, oh elalo. Hadi severim o. Oilaro, fai shrubaneshi. Oilaro, yalnız tutulami. Oilaro, you must look out for neshi. Oilaro, yeah yo nevero, yeah yo nevero, yeah yo selma, yeah yo selma, yeah yo selma, yeah yo selma. Yeah, you're selling the pie. 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 Yeah, good idea.
ለማስጠበቅ ድምጻችንን ማሰማት የምንችልበትን አንዱ መንገድ በሚመጣው የአሜሪካን ኮንግሬስ ምርጫ እንድንሳተፍ ለማበረታታት የተዘጋጀ ፌስቲቫል ነው። በተጨማሪም ዛሬ እዚህ የሚገኙ የማህበረሰባችን ስሞል ቢዝነስ ቬንደርስ በመጎብኘት እንድታበረታቱ እንጠይቃለን። በዚህ መድረክ የተጠሩ የአሜሪካ የሕዝብ ተወካዮች ንግግር እንዲያደርጉ ተጋብዘዋል። እስከ ፕሮግራማችን መጨረሻ አብራችሁን እንድትቆዩ አስቀድሜ በትህትና ጠይቃለሁ። Our first guest speaker is Delegate Charnel Herring, who represents District 46, the west end of Alexandria, in the Virginia House of Delegates since 2009. Yes, let's give it up for Delegate Charnel Herring. She has served in numerous leadership roles, including Deputy Whip, Majority Leader, and Chair of the House Courts of Justice Committee. And Delegate Herring currently serves as Chair of the Virginia House Democratic Caucus. And Delegate Herring is the first African American woman to represent Northern Virginia in the House of Delegates and to serve as Majority Leader. Delegate Herring, welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with you, and I just to say a few words. I've had the honor of representing the west end of Alexandria City since 2009, and I actually moved to the city from a homeless shelter with my mother when I was a teenager, and so this city means a lot to me personally, and I just am honored to be here to celebrate with you this festival and visit the booths of small businesses. And the Ethiopian community is certainly important to the greater Alexandria community. The Ethiopian community has members who have been presidents of our PTA, teachers, healthcare specialists. You're just part of the community, and I'm just so honored to be here with you today. The one thing I have to ask is to make sure that everybody votes. Election is November 8th. You have until the 17th to make sure that your voter registration is all set. That's the deadline. There is on-site voter registration on the day of Election Day, but I just want to remind everybody of the importance of getting out and vote. Now, of course, I have a preference on how you vote, but that doesn't matter. What's important is that everybody cast your ballot and make sure that you're voting. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Delegate Elizabeth Bennett Parker, who represents District 45. Yes. District 45 includes part of Arlington and Fairfax counties and part of the city of Alexandria in the Virginia House of Delegates. Delegate Bennett Parker also served on the Alexandria City Council from 2018 to 2021 and was Vice Mayor of Alexandria from 2019 to 2021. Delegate Bennett Parker, please come to the stage.
Good afternoon. It's such a lovely afternoon. Thank you so much for the invitation to join you. My name is Delegate Elizabeth Bennett Parker, and I'm honored to represent the 45th District. I was elected last November, so this January was my first session in the General Assembly, and I serve on the Finance Committee as well as the Local Government Committee, so deal with a lot of tax issues, and so wanted to bring some good news that Delegate Herring and I and our colleagues have been working on for all of you. So the first is state tax rebates. Everyone, individuals will be getting a tax rebate of up to $250, and married couples will be getting a tax rebate up to $500, up to the amounts you paid on those state income taxes. Those checks started going out in the middle of September. It may take a few weeks to get all of those out, but if you haven't filed your state income taxes, there's still time to do that. Rebates will be issued for all those who pay their taxes by November 1st. The second thing is that in the budget this year, we also made the earned income tax credit partially refundable for the first time ever. So next year, the median household will see an average savings of $500 on their taxes as well. And then the third tax update that I would provide is that beginning in January, we have eliminated the state portion of the grocery tax. So that'll be about a 1.5% back on all of your grocery bills beginning next year as well. So we are so proud to represent you in the General Assembly. We are working on legislation for next session. We'll go back in January. So if you have ideas or thoughts or things that are important for you, please feel free to let us know, and look forward to continuing to serve you. Thank you so much.
Next up, I'd like to invite Ajwa Ray, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Women of Praise. Women of Praise provides spiritual support for women of color in politics. Most recently, Ajwa served as Chief Advancement Officer at Sojourners, an ecumenical Christian social justice advocacy organization, an award-winning magazine, and as Director of Finance and Development at the Faith of Politics Institute, an organization that advances our democracy by bridging political, racial, and religious divides. Among many other roles, Ajwa served in several key roles on Capitol Hill, including Special Assistant to the Vice Chair of the House Democratic Caucus, Congressman John Larson. If I could ask Ajwa Ray to come to the stage, please.
Good afternoon. Okay, what time is it? It's 2:01. You can do a little bit better than that. Good afternoon. All right. My name is Ajwa Ray, and I am excited to be here representing the Virginia African Diaspora Committee. And it is a pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the VADC. We congratulate you all, the Ethiopian community, our brothers and sisters, on your second fall festival. And we honor you and celebrate you today. We stand in unity with our African brothers and sisters in Virginia and throughout the country in the effort to uplift and strengthen the African community throughout the diaspora. The African community is one of the fastest growing populations, immigrant populations in Virginia. And we have more than 115,000 people here in Virginia. Can I get a round of applause, a clap? We are here. We are growing, and we are excited. We are excited about the work that we are doing together to advance the African community. We are strong, and we are beautiful, and we are diverse. But the most important thing is that we are unified. We are unified in advocating for all of our communities, all of those communities that represent Africa here in Virginia and throughout the diaspora. So with that, I'm going to leave you with three things that we would love for you to do. The first thing is to check us out online at adc.org so you can learn about the work that we are doing, the powerful work that we are doing on behalf of the African community. The second thing that I'd like to ask you to do is to tell a friend. Tell a friend so that we can get as many people involved as possible. And the third thing, to echo my brothers and sisters that came before me, spoke before me, is to vote. Election day is coming up. It will be here before you know it. And we all know that our voice is our vote. So with that, again, I'd like to thank you for everything you are doing, congratulate you on another successful festival, and invite you to join us at the Virginia African Diaspora Committee. Thank you.
Next, we have City Councilman Kirk McPike with us from from Alexandria City Council. Welcome, everyone. Give it up for City Council Kirk McPike.
Have to adjust this a little lower for me, but thank you very much for having me. It's such a beautiful day out here today, and it was a beautiful day last year when I was able to attend this same event and had a great time, so I'm very happy to be with you again. I'm City Councilman Kirk McPike. If you live in the city of Alexandria, I am one of the 6 people who represent you on our city council, dealing with issues like supporting our local first responders, addressing housing affordability, taking care of our streets, and supporting the funding for our schools. The things that are very important to every community across Northern Virginia. So I'm very happy to be doing that work on your behalf, but I'm also very happy to be with you here today. We have so many different communities, so many different groups of people who make Alexandria their home, and each one of them provides an intrinsic and important element of what makes Alexandria an amazing place to live. So thank you for everything that you do as Alexandrians, as Northern Virginians, or Marylanders. We love all of our friends here today, to make your communities a better place. Thank you for being here today, and I want to join my colleagues in saying, please get out and vote. I was the 5th person to vote in the city of Alexandria this year. I voted about 9 a.m. on the first day of early vote. Early vote is going on every day this week. It's going on right up until Election Day. You have lots of opportunities to cast your ballot. This is going to be a low turnout election, so if you want to make your voice heard, this is your opportunity to do so. So thank you again for having me here today. Please get out and vote, and thank you for all that you're doing to make this a wonderful region, and I hope you have a great fall festival.
All right, next up, I would like to invite Alexandria City School Board member Abdulrahman El Nubi to come up to the stage.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. Like Thomas mentioned, my name is Abdel El Nubi. I serve on the Alexandria City School Board. I represent District C of Alexandria, which encompasses most of the west end of Alexandria City. I'm honored to represent our residents. Also, I'm honored to be here as someone who my parents come from Egypt, as a fellow African. I'm just honored to be here with all my brothers and sisters. So 2 things about what's going on right now on the school board that I would love for my brothers and sisters who live in Alexandria to be involved in. One, there is a advisory committee for Amharic speaking stakeholders. If you live in the city of Alexandria and you have an interest in the schools, please apply to be on that committee. The meetings are going to be in Amharic, and the point is to elevate the voices of everyone of the Amharic speaking community in the Alexandria City public schools. So please, if you're interested, see me after this and I can tell you how you can apply. The second thing is one of the biggest duties of the school board, other than we do policy and we hire and fire the superintendent, is the budget. And budget season is about to start, so please be engaged with us. Provide feedback. There's going to be ample opportunity for the community to provide feedback on the budget, so please be engaged in that. It's very important to hear the voices of the community on some of the biggest decisions the board would be making. Again, thank you so much for having me today. Please enjoy this beautiful weather and this beautiful day. Have a great day. Thank you.
Members of the organizing committee to come out here. Hermela, we need you. Eleni. TG, if you can please come to the stage.
Thank you. Check.
Hermela Halamayam, please come to the front of the stage. Hermela Halamayam.
Check. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2. Check. Okay. Oh, check.
Lily, if you can come to the stage.
Okay, right here. Now, give on to him. Mahalas gabut. Okay, right here. Thank you. እሺ ክቡራን እንግዶቻችን በዚህ አጋጣሚ እንግዲህ እዚህ ላይ እንዳላችሁ አንድ ማስታወሻ መናገር ፈልጋለሁ። በዚህ ባለፈው ሳምንት ሁላችሁም የምትወዱትና የምታከብሩት ዝነኛ ድምፃዊ ማዲንጎ አፈወርቅ እንዳለፈ ታውቃላችሁ። እሱን በማሰብ የእሱን ዘፈን አንድ 2 ደቂቃ ቢሆን ለማስታወስ እዚህ ላይ እንጫወታለን። ሁላችንም ሰብሰብ ብለን አብረን እናሳልፍ። እሱን እያሰብን ሰብሰብ ብለን አብረን እሱን እያሰብን እንጫወተው። ያምርብናል ከምር ተወደን ስኖር ሁላችንም አሜሪካን ያለው አንተኛ ገሬ ሰው ካናዳም ያለሽው አንተኛ ገሬ ሰው አውሮፓም ያለው አንተኛ ገሬ ሰው እስራኤል ያለው አንተኛ ገሬ ሰው ጀዳም ላይ ያለሽው አንተኛ ገሬ ሰው ጅቡቲም ያለሽው አንተኛ ገሬ
ደግሰው እስኪ እናታችን ቤት እንሰባሰበው ዓመት አውደ ዓመቱን አብረን እናክብረው እስኪ እናታችን ቤት እንሰባሰበው ዓመት አውደ ዓመቱን አብረን አንበሳውና እናት ኢትዮጵያ ክብሯን እናንሳ አንድ ናርኩና ማሳለማንሳ ዋሱን ቀለማት አብረን ዓላማ አንድነታችን ያለም ይሰማ በአድማ በአርባው ዓመቱ ላይ በክፉ ደጉ የማይለያይ አብሮ የሚበላ አብሮ የሚጠጣ ለእናት ሀገሩ ተብሎ መጣ የአስር ዓመቱን ተሰባስበናል ኢትዮጵያዊነት አንድ አድርጎናል አድማሱም ያለ ከዚህም ያለ እንደ ትናንቱ ዛሬም አንድ ነን እንደ ትናንቱ ዛሬም አንድ ነን ይሄ ሰው አማራ የሚለው ማነው ይሄ ሰው ኦሮሞ የሚለው ማነው ይሄ ሰው ከትግሬ የሚለው ማነው ይሄ ሰው ጉራጌ የሚለው ማነው ይሄ ሰው ጉራጌ የሚለው ማነው ይሄ ሰው ከደቡብ የሚለው ማነው ይለያይም ቋንቋ ደማችን አንድ ነው ይለያይም ቋንቋ ደማችን አንድ ነው በእናቴም አበሻ በአባቴም አበሻ በእናቴም አበሻ በአባቴም አበሻ አንድ ናት ኢትዮጵያ እስከ መጨረሻ አንድ ናት ኢትዮጵያ እስከ መጨረሻ ለእናቴም አንድ ነኝ ለአባቴም አንድ ነኝ ለእናቴም አንድ ነኝ ለአባቴም አንድ ነኝ ኢትዮጵያ ሀገሬ ማነው የሚለየኝ ኢትዮጵያ ሀገሬ ማነው የሚለየኝ ኢትዮጵያ ሀገሬ ማነው እጀለማ አንበሳውና እናት ኢትዮጵያ ክብሯን እናንሳ አንድ ናርኩነን ማሳ ለማንሳ ሶስቱ ቀለማት አብረን ዓላማ አንድነታችን ያለም ይሰማ በአገር ማህበር በአውደ ዓመቱ ላይ በክፉ ደጉ የማይለያይ አብሮ የሚበላ አብሮ የሚጠጣ ለእናት ሀገሩ ብሎ መጣ የአስር ዓመቱን ተሰባስበናል ኢትዮጵያዊነት አንድ አድርጎናል አድማሱ መለከት ይመና እንደ ትናንቱ ዛሬም አንድ ነን እንደ ትናንቱ ዛሬም አንድ ነን አይደለም እንዴ እንደ ትናንቱ ዛሬም አንድ ነን እንደ ትናንቱ ዛሬም አንድ ነን በዚህ አጋጣሚ ማርዬ የሁላችን ወንድም ሁላችንም አዝነናል ነፍስን በገነት ያኑርልን ማርዬ ወንድማችን በጣም እንወዳለን በጣም አዝነናል ሁላችንም ከልባችን እንወዳለን ስራ ግን ሁሌም ይኖራል